What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video. Today I'm going to be recapping the Toronto Maple Leafs 5-3 loss to the San Jose Sharks. Man, I don't really know how to fully explain this game. I don't know how to review this game because what I watched was a defensive nightmare. What I watched was not the greatest goaltending performance. A couple of those goals, okay, maybe there was some screens and a little bit of traffic out front, sure. But this game was tough to watch. There was a lot of things wrong with this, and there's a quote that's going around Twitter right now that is getting everybody's attention, and it's not exactly something that I wanted to read right after watching a game where I was pissed off with so many problems in this game. This isn't going to be a traditional recap where I go through every single little detail in terms of stats. This is going to be my honest review on how I feel about all the things that I didn't like in this game and maybe some things that I did like. But if you are new here, make sure to like this video and subscribe. I know there's a ton of you guys watching that aren't subscribed. I'd greatly appreciate it. But like I said, just to be brief here, 5-3. The shots favored Toronto, but that doesn't really matter. Hutchinson lost. He wasn't the greatest tonight. Hill 3-0 to start the year. Big night from Logan Couture. Spezza got one. We seen Tavares get one that I'm surprised didn't count as Nylander's goal, but he did get an assist. So now he does have 5 points in 5 games. But a lot of different guys on the score sheet for the San Jose Sharks tonight. Couture, Meyer, and Kasha, the 3 stars. I don't want to go too in-depth on these stats, like I said. First, I want to give you a little bit of what's going on Twitter right now. This is a quote that's going around. Terry Koshin tweeted this out from the Toronto Sun. Matthews said after the game, "We'd like to learn from this one." Listen, I know Austin Matthews has been the best player on this team. He's going to be one of the greatest Leafs, if not the greatest Leaf of all time by the end of it in terms of statistics. Okay, he's going to put up big numbers his whole career. Knock on wood, we're hoping that. This quote here, "We'd like to learn from this one," is not a quote that you should be saying at this point. You should have learned a couple seasons ago. You should have learned a season before that. You should have learned last year. You should have learned against Columbus. You should have learned last year against Montreal, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. You should learn about these already. There's no learning from this. You just lost. You lost to the San Jose Sharks. You should have won that game. You didn't get the greatest goaltending, okay, but the whole team effort was not there. Let's give a shout out real quick to the effort at the end of the game from William Nylander for stopping that empty net attempt the first time and then almost trying to get back to stop the second one that eventually went in. We had Jason Spezza, again, at like 37 or 38 years old, actually putting up numbers still and being one of the best players on the team. Meanwhile, most of the team still hasn't understood that the season started. Nick Ritchie so far, the experiment's not working. I'm sorry. The guy doesn't even look for the puck in the offensive zone, and I'm very frustrated about that. The drop back pass on the power play is not working. Stop doing that. Please, for the love of God, that power play is terrible. Please stop doing that. These fancy passes, I tweeted about this. Matthews trying to do a toe drag an inch in front of the net when he probably could have just rifled one home. They're looking for pretty goals. This team is not putting in the effort that we seen in the regular season last year where they were just scoring at will. The only guys that are being consistent is Michael Bunting, William Nylander, and Jason Spezza, in my opinion. I've also liked the way Kerfoot's been playing to start the year. It's not all about numbers. I've really liked David Kampf as well. Andre Kasha's looked pretty decent. We're getting secondary scoring and your defensive line, your third line, is actually doing their job. Matthews was injured to start the year. I'm going to give him a pass for these first couple games. Tavares finally seemed like he was playing a little better tonight. Mitch Marner, I'm sorry, he's still not doing it. But at this point, we need everybody to produce. I don't want to see nobody talking about William Nylander ever again. Because he's been the best player by far to start this season. I know this is kind of an all over the place review, but this team is so frustrating and the season just started. There's no identity to this team. They go out there and they hope that the puck goes in. And then that's it. You know, this is going to sound really like too much, especially this early in the season. But I feel like I have more respect for the logo on that jersey than most of the players do. It's so frustrating as a fan. Like if I'm this frustrated, they must be more frustrated, right? Because these games are winnable games. And I'll say it a million times over. These games can affect game 82. So don't tell me these games all just whatever. They could go on a run and whatever. Lots of teams can go on a run. Lots of teams. Teams can go on a run for the whole season. And usually that happens. There's a few teams that do that. And that's why some teams miss the playoffs. I do not want to be talking about this already, but this Leafs team better wake up because there's a lot of good teams around them this year. No more Canadian division where we get to slap the crap out of all these terrible teams at the bottom of the NHL. They have to start playing hockey because this 5-3 loss was brutal. They did not look like they were there to play tonight. There's only a few guys that looked ready to play. They better smarten up against Pittsburgh. I believe that's their next game. I'm not even going to preview the game. I'll review it. That's it. I don't want to preview that game because I'm honestly sick of the previews. I like the reviews better. But they need more. If you're new here, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Sorry, it's a bit of a rant. But I want this team to be better. I want to watch a game and actually be like, oh, they look really good. They're playing really well. They're going to win tonight. They score a few goals. Oh, nice. A few different guys getting on the board. They did score 3 tonight, but you have to prevent the 5 that went in. Mind you, one of them was an empty net. Doesn't matter. We need the effort from everybody to win these hockey games. It's so embarrassing. Win the damn games. I just feel like I'm making the same video over and over, like 10 times a year. More than that, like 20 times a year, because you got to include the playoffs. The 5 or the 7 games that they end up playing. Just win some hockey games. Please, for the love of God, just win some hockey games. Love and appreciate you guys as always. Peace.